Good morning. Thursdays, me and Selisa. The design store is here.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys today?
Great. Well,
looking forward to talking about something more fun.
right. Hey, Dave had
We're
good
going to
stuff.
mix it up a little bit here. And
Right.
Development's good, remodeling better.
Yes. Yay. Remodeling's always a good topic, right?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're getting rid of something that you didn't like before.
Correct. And with time comes some change. And so as hard as it is to hop on that bandwagon, eventually we get to the point where we're ready for it. So, yeah.
And it's
Especially-
exciting.
It is. Transformations are big, and so it's always something to perk you up.
Didn't get into radio thinking I would ever talk bathrooms on the radio, but
Right.
We like to get into the private areas, I guess.
well, they're needed.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to the having to put your coat on and go outside
Yeah.
in the middle of the night. Don't want to do that.
Were you ever actually
No, I
in
wasn't.
that stage?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, just checking.
I was not. Where is the bathroom currently? And I'm not talking, what are we doing with bathrooms now that we have maybe never done?
Well, today I kind of wanted to just go through how significant the primary, formerly known as the master bathroom, has become in the household. It's becoming more and more vital of a space for us. We all knew the validity of a kitchen and how much of an impact the kitchen has on a household. But as a close runner-up now, that primary bathroom is holding a very big part of how we feel about our houses now.
Mm-hmm.
And things are changing a lot in a primary bathroom.
And we spend a lot of time. We do spend a lot of time in there.
We do. Our awake time, I mean, we all know that we're cleaning up in the kitchen, which seems like always after every meal. But the second most amount of time spent in your house is in your bathroom. And it's not, I mean, like, think about it. You're getting ready in the morning. You're brushing your teeth at night. It's the start of your day. It's the end of your day. For a busy mother of three like me, it's my retreat space. I mean, there are times when I will just go in there and lock the door for a few minutes and be like, I just need some me time. And so this room is really becoming kind of a sanctuary to the primary homeowner to really just have that nice space. And it's for them. Not a lot of guests will see it.
Right.
And so, but we're starting to become a society where we know how important it is to accommodate ourselves and just to do it for yourself. So it's big. And some of the growing or the changing trends, to answer your question, Brian, is back in the day, we all had one of those, well, I didn't, but we all were putting in those big jacuzzi tubs.
Mm-hmm.
They took up a lot of real estate, but it was kind of the thing to have, and everybody was so excited about them. But what we learned over time is that nobody was using them other than for storage. So they were really just becoming a big closet.
Like the treadmill that's near the laundry room. It's the clothes rack. I
Yep.
get it.
We put a shower that size in that spot that you're talking about. There was a jacuzzi tub.
Well, and that's exactly where we're kind of going with it. We're ripping out those big tubs because if not a lot of time is actually being spent in it, what's the purpose of taking up that much real estate? And when we were putting those tubs in, there wasn't a whole lot of bathroom left. And so people were putting in these teeny little 3x3 showers.
Yeah.
And you can virtually stand in them. You can't do a whole lot else. And so now when we're taking out those tubs, we're going back in and we're making larger showers. We're making 2 people showers. We're making steam showers are a big thing this year. We've done a lot of steam showers.
Oh, wow.
Very healthy. I'm getting those toxins and whatnot out. So why not make a little spa within your own bathroom area But so that's probably the biggest trend, is going for a bigger shower, because we are a society of functionality and just trying to make things so that our day can go a little smoother and faster. As glorious as a tub bubble bath with a glass of wine sounds, people don't have the time for that anymore, unfortunately. And so if we know we're going to be taking, a shower daily, every couple days, whatever. But, and so it's like, well, let's make that experience the best experience we can make it.
And quite honestly, the industry has come to a point with the stuff you don't see, the waterproofing, the reinforcing whatever needs to be done.
Correct.
You can't rip out an old, say, 1970s era bathroom without doing some work behind the scenes, correct?
Oh, for sure. And I'm actually glad that you brought up the reinforcing, because that's another very growing trend. When doing a bathroom remodel or a new build, it's reinforcing, where your towel bars, your toilet bar are going to be behind the sheetrock, actually. And so how many of us have had those towel bars that have ripped off the wall? Yeah, and we're getting sick of it, right? So now in almost every bathroom remodel that we do and plan, we're planning where those towel bars are going to go, because we're adding reinforcement behind it. And it's something so quick. Unfortunately, it does have to get behind the sheetrock, but just adding a 2x6 behind there for that to be drilled into, we don't have to deal with that problem anymore of those dangling towel bars. You can usually, in past, you could get one in a stud, and then the other one would always be, all it took was, in my household, one kid coming through and, drying their hands off, and it's like, oh, shoot. What now? Ugh. And patching those were miserable. And then you knew that there was a huge possibility of it continually happening, even if you did patch it. So...
And there's a lot of wallet options, right? You can spend a lot.
Yeah.
So you can also spend what you can afford, and it still is going to look beautiful and what you like.
Correct. Because bathrooms can be a little intimidating. They are. We know how much a kitchen investment can be. But bathrooms are a close second. And that's why we want to be able to give our clients at the design store some options. We've got 4 different stepping stones and cabinet companies. We have... multiple tile options. And so no matter what your budget is, our goal and our aim is to try to fit it within that budget. And so, when you come in, we always say, let's start with the dream. Let's put together what you ultimately want to do. But then if we have a budget to hit, we're going to find the tile that's going to fit within that. We're going to find the cabinetry, and try to make it. And there's things when we talked about lighting, if your budget is smaller, maybe it's just a couple things that you're changing to make it more presentable, more enjoyable for yourself, and not doing a complete overhaul. But maybe it's just fastening that towel bar that will do that for you.
Right.
So as big or as small as it is, it's a very important room. Cabinetry is another big thing of how the industry is changing. We're starting to get more bells and whistles in our cabinetry designed for bathrooms. For instance, that curling iron holder, that's a big deal. I'm working with a client right now that's using one, and I'm so jealous because every day I put my curling iron, we have a very small vanity, I put my curling iron on the vanity, and it's like, oh man, it'd be nice to kind of tuck that thing away so it doesn't look messy, and I don't need
because by the time it's cooled down, you're already out of the house.
Exactly. And so it just sits there. It's constant. And then every time one of my kiddos runs into my bathroom, they knock that thing off. And it's like, oh, okay, if we had a placement for it. Another unique thing is having a hamper. If people are doing a linen cabinet in their bathroom, having a hamper right in the linen cabinet is kind of a big deal. So.
Oh, yeah.
This is maybe more of a construction topic than a design store topic, but even if a client and if they're remodeling their bathroom, maybe they don't want a bidet.
Right.
Are you going to run the hot water to their in a perfect world because the next person might?
That typically not. That's actually a great question. I'd like to ask some of our plumbers about that. But bidets are becoming hot too. I mean, I can't tell you how many bathrooms.
And I'm sorry, I'm not shooting cold water in that situation.
I would say when in doubt, it wouldn't hurt because you're never going to be able to rerun those lines again without it being very costly. So set it up for it because you never know what kind of situation you're going to be getting into, and not to get too private, but like I had a brother that was he was in a accident and never knew that he was going to need a bidet.
Oh.
But got to the point where one arm was inoperable, one shoulder was inoperable, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, we're ordering them. And you can go on like Amazon or those places and get the ones that you just attach to your
But then you got a water line running out the side of the cabinet to the toilet. Mm-hmm. Who wants to see that all the time? Right.
Because you do want it warm. I mean, nobody wants a cold bidet. That's for sure. That is absolutely for sure. So, yes, and long story short, to answer your question, it wouldn't hurt to do it, even if you think, I'm never going to want this. I mean, how many times have we changed our mind?
Right. Golly, I wish I would have thought of that.
Yep. And there's always a time when you kind of prove your own self wrong that you end up wanting something you didn't think you were going to want a while back. So.
All right. As long as I've gone down this rabbit hole. How many different features of toilets are there that the average person would never think that, hey, that's a heck of a feature?
There is a ton. And what's actually kind of funny, and again, this is probably more of a plumber question than, because we dive into plumbing a little bit, not a ton. But whenever we go to do a photo shoot at a new bathroom, especially somebody that's done one of these very, very fancy toilets, we have a hard time because some of the newer toilets are designed to automatically lift the lid as you walk by. And it's kind of a faux pas when taking photography to have an open toilet. Like you want the toilet closed, right?
You do.
And so we're like trying to do these videos in this small little bathroom, and you can't help but like set the toilet off so the lid is going up the whole time. So we should do a little blooper reel of trying to shoot a bathroom, and Jody will tell you how many times we're like trying to like pin that seat down because it's a little awkward. But that's a feature that is nice because how many people are getting yelled at on a daily basis for like leaving the toilet seat up or doing that kind of thing, or not wanting to have to do that. So for it to be done for you is kind of nice. They also have, believe it or not, and this came out quite a few years ago, they have a seat with a nightlight in it.
Oh, cool.
So you could, for those stumbling and making their way in the middle of the night when you have to use the restroom and you don't want to turn that light on and blind yourself, to have that little night light just where you have to go is a pretty nice feature as well. So it's amazing what they can't come up with to make our lives easier and more pampered. So, yeah. The
primary bathroom.
The primary bathroom. It's hard because like the terminology has changed, but it's that bathroom that's a part of your primary suite, and people are wanting to see that, especially for real estate. If you're ever thinking about selling your house, sometimes people are choosing to put the effort into the bathroom instead of the kitchen because maybe the kitchen's just too much of an overhaul. But if you have a really nice bathroom, that can be a huge selling feature as well.
I would assume that people's preferences in the kitchen would be far different than the bathroom. Like a bathroom that, say, you would envision and create, I can live with.
Right. Yes. But where a kitchen is more custom.
I don't want that island there. I want it over here.
Yeah. You could spend a lot of money redoing a kitchen, and somebody could still come in and be like, this is not my taste. I want it changed and different. Whereas a bathroom, it's a little bit easier to hit on the masses. Like,
oh, sure.
What would be more pleasing for the general public as a whole. So
And there's two
Good-
there's
good
two
point.
types of lighting in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
There's the one that's above the mirrors, right, and then the other part that lights the bathroom.
Yep.
Think sometimes of different types of lighting in the bathroom.
Correct. And so lighting is huge in everywhere you go, because we've talked about having different types of lighting, in other places, but in a bathroom it's important too. You want that overhead lighting. Sconce lighting, believe it or not, is your absolute best lighting for makeup or shaving application, is to have the sconces by the mirror. And so, because for years we always did the above the mirror lighting, which is nice too. But the sconce lighting actually gives you the most even lighting when doing those activities.
And
So
some mirrors have lights in them.
they
now.
do. We just got one and we love it because when doing makeup,
Sure.
as I'm aging, it's kind of harder to see certain things. So,
Good, that's not just me.
yeah. Yes. So having a good mirror where I can get rid of all those, hairs before I go out into public is always a good option. So, yeah.
Go imagine your primary bathroom. Just see Elisa and the crew.
Yeah. Come check us out at the design store.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.